The blood on the station floor. Captain Jace Marlowe had seen many things in his 15 years hauling cargo across the galaxy. He had walked through alien markets that smelled like burning metal. He had traded with species that had 12 arms and spoke in colors. He had survived engine failures in the deep void where no rescue could reach him. But nothing had prepared him for what he found on Landing Station 7 above the planet Lunara. The station was supposed to be cheerful. The Lunari were a gentle prey species, small, covered in soft fur, with wide eyes that reflected moonlight. They loved singing. They loved their families. They loved peace. Every time Jace visited, they greeted him with music and warm food. But today, the docking bay was silent, and there was blood on the floor. Jace stepped off his ship slowly. His boots left prints in the dark stains. The station's main corridor was empty. Lights flickered. Doors hung open. He touched his comm device. "Hello? Anyone here?" Only static answered. His heartbeat quickened. Something was very wrong. He moved deeper into the station, past empty shops and overturned crates. Then he heard it, a soft crying sound. He followed it to a storage room. Inside, huddled behind stacked boxes, was a young Lunari female. Her fur was dirty. Her eyes were red from tears. When she saw Jace, she flinched and tried to hide. "It's okay," Jace said gently, kneeling down. "I'm not going to hurt you." "What happened here?" The Lunari trembled. "They came. The Dravoks. They came in ships. They killed the guards. They took the children." Her voice broke. "They took my little brother." Jace felt ice in his chest. The Dravoks were predators, large, scaled, with teeth like daggers. They ruled a small empire on the edge of Galactic Council space. Most species avoided them. "Why did they take children?" Jace asked, though part of him already knew the answer. The Lunari looked at him with hollow eyes. "To eat them." Jace stood up fast. His hands shook, not from fear, but from rage. "Where is the council? Where are the peacekeepers?" "We begged them. We sent messages. They said the Dravoks are a sovereign species. They said we must negotiate. They said intervention would violate galactic law." She lowered her head. "They told us to wait. But we have no weapons, no soldiers. We cannot fight." Jace closed his eyes. He thought about his own home, Earth, a planet of storms, earthquakes, predators, disease, a world that tried to kill humans every single day. Humans learned to fight back. They learned to survive, and they learned something else. When the innocent are threatened, you do not wait for permission to act. He opened his comm and switched to an old encrypted channel, one used by independent human traders, mercenaries, and fighters who operated outside council rules. He spoke clearly. "This is Captain Jace Marlowe. I'm on Lunara. A predator species called the Dravoks is raiding this world. They're stealing children and eating them. The council is doing nothing. I'm going to stop them. I'm not asking for orders. I'm asking, who's willing to stand with me?" He waited. For a long moment, there was only silence. Then, one by one, voices crackled through the comm. "This is Dr. Alaric Chen, combat medic. I'm 3 jumps away. I'll be there in 2 days. Santiago Ruiz here, demolition specialist. Count me in. Corporal Marcus Webb, former Marine. I've got weapons and a fast ship. See you soon. Lieutenant Kira Osi, pilot and tactical officer. On my way. Private Liam Cross, infantry. I'll bring ammunition." 6 voices. 6 humans. That was all. Jace looked at the Lunari. "Help is coming. We're going to get your brother back." The Lunari stared at him. 6 people?
The Dravoks have hundreds of soldiers. They have warships. Jace smiled. A cold, dangerous smile. Then they should have picked a fight with someone else. Over the next 3 days, the humans arrived. They met in the lower levels of the station, away from surveillance. Dr. Chen unpacked medical supplies and tactical scanners. Ruiz laid out explosives and remote detonators. Webb checked rifles and body armor. Osei studied satellite maps of the Dravoks base on Lunara's surface. Cross sharpened knives and loaded magazines. Jace spread a holographic map on the table. The Dravoks set up a fortified camp near the northern forest. They've taken over 50 Lunari children and are holding them in cages. Their main force patrols the area in squads of 10. They have 3 gunships stationed outside the camp. Council observers are watching from orbit, but they won't intervene. "So we're on our own," Marcus said. "As always," Ilara replied. Kira zoomed in on the map. "They expect resistance to come from the front. They don't expect us to come from below." Santiago grinned. "I love tunnels." Jace nodded. "The Lunare have a network of old mining tunnels under the forest. We'll use those to move unseen. We hit them where they're weak. We use fear, confusion, and speed. We make them think they're fighting ghosts. And when they're broken, we strike the main camp and get those kids out." Liam leaned forward. "And if the council tries to stop us," Jace's voice turned hard, "then we remind them that humanity doesn't ask permission to protect the innocent." The humans stood together. They were outnumbered. They were outgunned, but they were Deathworlders, beings forged by a planet that taught them to survive, adapt, and fight. And now, the Dravoks were about to learn why no one should ever test a species that came from Earth.
When Deathworlders hunt. The forest of Lunara was beautiful. Tall, silver trees, glowing moss, soft grass. It was a place meant for peace, but now it was a battlefield. The humans moved through the tunnels like shadows. They wore dark armor. They carried weapons designed for close combat. And they moved with the precision of predators who had hunted on Earth, a world where everything wanted to kill you. The first Dravoks patrol never saw them coming. 10 soldiers, armed with energy rifles, marched through the trees. They laughed. They joked. They believed they were invincible. Then, the ground beneath them exploded. Santiago's charges detonated perfectly, collapsing the tunnel roof and burying half the squad. The survivors scattered in panic. That's when Marcus and Liam emerged from the shadows. 2 quick bursts of gunfire. Silence. The humans disappeared before reinforcements arrived. They left no bodies, no evidence, only fear. Over the next week, the Dravoks patrols grew nervous. Soldiers went missing. Supply lines were sabotaged. Traps appeared everywhere. Hidden explosives, snare wires, collapsing pathways. The Dravoks commander, a massive warrior named Kravik, roared orders at his troops. "Find them! Kill them! They are only a handful of weak traitors!" But his soldiers whispered different words. "They are not traitors. They are Deathworlders." Kravik did not believe in human legends. He had heard stories, tales of a species that survived on a planet covered in storms, volcanoes, and deadly animals. But stories were just stories. He ordered his forces to sweep the forest and destroy anything that moved. That night, the humans struck the Dravoks base directly. While the enemy soldiers searched the forest, Ilara and Kira infiltrated the camp through a drainage tunnel. They moved silently, avoiding patrols, and reached the cages where the Lunari children were held. The children were terrified, huddled together, crying softly. Ilara knelt beside them. "We're here to take you home," she whispered. "Stay quiet and follow me." Meanwhile, Jace, Marcus, and Santiago created chaos on the other side of the camp. They set fires, they triggered alarms, they attacked supply depots. The Dravok soldiers rushed to respond, leaving the children's area unguarded. Kira led the children through the tunnels while Alara covered their escape. One Dravok's guard spotted them. Alara didn't hesitate. A single shot. The guard fell. By dawn, the children were safe, in a hidden Lunari village deep in the forest. The humans had moved them under the cover of darkness, using old tunnels and secret paths. The Lunari elders wept with gratitude. "You saved them," one elder said. "How can we ever repay you?" Jay shook his head. "You don't owe us anything. We did what was right." But the fight was not over. Kravik was furious. He sent a message to the Galactic Council. "The humans are attacking us! They are committing acts of war! Demand they stop immediately!" The Council responded quickly. A transmission arrived on Jace's comm. "Captain Marlowe, you are violating galactic law. Cease all hostile actions and surrender to Council authority." Jace activated his comm and sent a reply, not just to the Council, but to every open channel in the sector. His voice was calm, but it carried the weight of cold steel. "This is Captain Jace Marlowe. The Dravoks kidnapped children. They murdered innocents. They planned to eat them. The Council did nothing, so we acted. If protecting the defenseless is a crime, then humanity is guilty. But hear this, we will not stop. We will not surrender. And if you stand with monsters, then you stand against us." The message spread across the galaxy. Millions of beings heard it. Some cheered, some condemned, but everyone understood. Humanity had drawn a line. Kravik gathered his remaining forces, over 200 soldiers and 3 gunships, and marched on the Lunari village. He planned to burn it to the ground. But the humans were waiting. They had turned the forest into a death trap. Explosives lined every path. Snipers hid in the trees. And when the Dravoks entered the kill zone, the humans unleashed hell. Gunships fell from the sky, engines destroyed by precise rocket fire. Soldiers stumbled into traps and were cut down by coordinated ambushes. Kravik himself charged forward, roaring in rage, only to find Jace standing in his path. The two stared at each other. Kravik was twice Jace's size, covered in armor and muscle. But Jace did not flinch. "You should have left these people alone," Jace said. Kravik laughed. "I am one man. I am a warrior of the Dravok's empire." Jace smiled. "I'm not just one man. I'm a human, and we come from a world that tried to kill us every day. We learned to fight back. We learned to win." The fight was short. Jace was faster, smarter, more experienced. When it ended, Kravik lay on the ground, defeated. Jace stood over him. "Tell your empire this: humanity does not start fights, but we finish them." Days later, the Galactic Council convened an emergency session. Representatives from hundreds of species argued loudly. Some demanded humanity be punished. Others called for sanctions. But then a Lunari delegate stood and spoke. "The humans saved us when no one else would. They risked their lives for children they had never met. If this is a crime, then I ask the Council, what does that make you?" Silence filled the chamber. The Council did not punish humanity. Instead, they quietly withdrew their objections. The Dravok's empire, humiliated and broken, retreated to their homeland. And across the galaxy, a new understanding emerged. Humanity was small in number, but mighty in courage. They were Deathworlders, beings shaped by a lethal planet and a refusal to surrender.